everyone. Today I'm going to share with you some of my Montessori inspired Thanksgiving and T is for Turkey activities for children 2 to 5 years old. These are fun hands-on activities that focus on learning basic skills, hand-eye coordination, and fine motor skills. If you're a homeschool mom or if you're a parent or a grandparent, just looking for a few inexpensive activities for your child or grandchild, you are going to like these activities. This first activity is a literacy and a vocabulary building activity. So for this activity, I would have some books available. This is an excellent book. This is the story of the Pilgrims. It's a nonfiction book. So before we would read, I would probably use some of these flashcards. So I'm including this. This is a free printable. I made this flashcards. You can have your child color them and then you can go over them. Pilgrims, Mayflower, pumpkin, turkey, Indians, pilgrim hat. I always like to review vocabulary before we read a story. So I made this little pocket and I keep my flashcards there. So this is a great book, The Story of the Pilgrims. And then I would like to always have books that deal with whatever it is that we're teaching this week. So we're talking about Thanksgiving and being thankful. So here's Little Critter, being thankful. This is Clifford, Thanksgiving Feast. This one is Pete the Cat, the first Thanksgiving. This is really cute. It's a Lift the Flap book. And so toddlers really like this, to lift the flap and see what's underneath. Really cute book. This one, the Berenstain Bears Give Thanks. Franklin's Thanksgiving. The Thanksgiving Monster. Franklin's Pumpkin. Squanto. These books are really cute, the I Spy books. This is I Spy a Pumpkin. And I really, really like this book. This one is called Counting Blessings. And so we would talk to our child about being thankful and giving thanks for things that we have. And this one goes from number 1 to 10. This one is one family loves you. So that's 1. 2 hands and 2 feet. 3 sweaters when it's cold, and so on. Super cute book. This next activity is a letter tracing activity. We're working with the letter T, so we would have our child trace the letter T. It is important that children learn how to form their letters properly. So first thing we would do is trace with our finger down, and then we're going to come across. Down and across. Now, if you don't have a laminator, you can put your hand out in one of these pocket protectors and you just put it in there. Put your hand out in there. On this side, you can have your child put some stickers for the letter T, and again, trying to go down and then across. Or you can use a manipulative. I have some little eraser. These are mini erasers. These are from Target. So we could do that. We could use the triangles. I'm using these because triangle starts with a letter T. So we could do that. Or you can use pom-poms. Have your child place the pom-poms down and then across. Buttons. whatever manipulative you have at home. And we can tell our child the letter T says T, T for turkey. This next activity is a beginning letter sound activity. So I've made these cards and I'll link this printable below. I have a picture of a turkey, a triangle, a tree, and the number 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our child, if you have some magnetic letters, you can use that. So we're going to have our child place the letter T, and I like to use shapes. So I'm going to say, can you put the letter T in the circle? So that's what we're going to do with this activity. Another thing that you can do, if you have some Play-Doh, you can just have your child place the T right on the Play-Doh, T, for turkey. Or if you have these molds, these are Play-Doh molds, this is the letter T, you can have your child press and make the letter T. Another thing that you can do, if you have Legos, the small Legos, and you need to be careful with this, if your child is still putting things in his mouth, be very careful. But you can have your child form the letter T using the little Legos. T, T. These are actually from Dollar Tree. It's a little package that you can get. It has 35 little pieces for $1. Now, again, I want to remind you that if your child is still putting things in his mouth, you need to be very careful with this activity. But that is such a fun way to review the letter T, remind them that the T says T for turkey. This next activity is also a letter tracing activity, but this time I'm using we call it a salt box, but it's not salt. I'm using sand from Dollar Tree, a package for $1, and I had this little container that I'm using. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our child trace the letter T. Then you can just shake it, and then they get to do it all over again. T. This next activity is a pre-writing activity. I created this printable, and I'll link it below. We're going to need a dry erase marker, and we're going to have our child trace the lines from left to right. From left to right. Tracing is a pre-writing activity. Pre-writing is learning the skills necessary to begin writing. Pre-writing is an important step because it teaches children the proper way to hold a pencil. And pre-writing also helps children with the development of hand-eye coordination. They learn that words go from left to right. This next activity is a matching activity. It's a number recognition activity. I created this printable. I'll link it below. I have the numbers. So what our child is going to do is match the numbers. 1. I went ahead and put some Velcro dots so that we can put these numbers. So 4, 9, 8, and so on. This next activity is a number quantity activity. I went ahead and created these printables. It's got numbers. I did 1 through 6, and then I left one blank. So you can use a magnetic number for this one and use whatever numbers you want. So what we're going to do with this, we're going to have our child look at the turkey, and we're going to put some feathers. We can use, I like these clothespins. I found these at Walmart. I got a whole bunch of these for a little bit over $2. But if you don't have those clothespins, you can use regular clothespins. This ones, I put some construction paper, and you can just do different colors. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a card and say 1. Let's put 1 feather. 1. 2. And so then your child would put 2 feathers. This is a great activity. Little hands are learning that this side is going to open when we press here. Now this is not easy for 2 and 3-year-olds, but it is a great fine motor skills activity as they learn to open and close the clothespins and put them on the handout. 3. Now another thing that you can do that would be kind of fun is use a manipulative. I have some candy corn, so we can do 3 for this one. Let's put 3. Go 1, 2, and 3. Anything that you can find to use as a manipulative. The main thing is to teach your child and for them to have fun as they're learning their numbers and number quantity. Very important. This next activity, it's a matching activity. I created this printable. We're going to review shapes. So I put some Velcro dots. We're going to match the shapes. Star, heart, and so on. This next activity is a logic activity. I created these printables. I'll link them below. It's a 2-piece puzzle. I went ahead and taped them to the mega blocks. And so what our child is going to do is just trying to find the pieces that go together. And this is also a great activity for reviewing vocabulary. Pilgrims. Oh, this is the turkey, and here's the turkey's head. I also made this acorn and a pumpkin. Puzzles are great for learning, for problem solving, hand-eye coordination, concentration. As your child works on putting together the 2 pieces of the puzzle, they are thinking and trying to figure out which piece goes where. A great hand-eye coordination and concentration activity. For this next activity, I'm using the printable, the turkey. I taped it here. I'm using a strainer from Dollar Tree, and I'm using some feathers. So what our child is going to do is put some feathers on the little holes here. They pick up the feather and they just put it down. Such a fun way to work on this activity, fine motor skills activity. This next activity, I'm going to set up this tray with Play-Doh and feathers, some popsicle sticks, some of the cookie cutters, and a rolling pin, some of the molds, and then your child is just going to have fun with this. So they would make a little turkey, put an eye maybe, use maybe some of the little sticks. You can put some of these, or they can use the feathers and put some feathers on their turkey. Whatever they want to do, it's just a fun way to have fun. Maybe make the letter T. Just a fun way to have fun. I hope you enjoyed the activities I had for you today. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.